Hey guys, this is Enron here. I am going to be showing you Death Knights today, the spell changes that have came in for blood, every single thing that has to do with tanking. I personally have tanked as a Death Knight pretty much since they have came out, and that is currently my main right now in game. But I can tell you one thing though. Right now, the way Death Knights are, it is pretty much like playing a whole new class. Everything's different. I know they are going to do some changes because at the moment the rune regeneration is super slow. There are times I'm sitting there almost 5 to 7 seconds waiting for a rune, and there's pretty much nothing that I can do. So let me give you guys a little overview of the new spells that we have as our main. Bloodstrike is back. If you have Bloodstrike, it does damage instantly, hits an enemy, does about 8,000 damage, and puts the Blood Plague on them. There are no more diseases. Your Bloodstrike will put your one disease up on the target. And your disease also, it does damage and heals you for 1% of their maximum health every 3 seconds for 30 seconds. Another ability that we get is Marrow Rend. Hits the target for about a little over 16,000 damage, and it generates 2 charges of Bone Shield. Bone Shield is not something that you can put up by yourself anymore. It is something that this ability right here will put up for you. It goes up to about 10 stacks. It is not that hard to put up, as you all know that as far as runes, there are no more different type of runes. We only have just simple plain runes. So this costs 2 runes, and then Death Strike actually costs 40 runic power. Death Strike, it is not as strong as it used to be, unless you're a little low on health, and then it will take all of the runic power that you have to make your Death Strike stronger. The other spell that we have is Death and Decay. Little change to it, but the rest of it, it's pretty much the same. When you have Death and Decay on the ground and you do a hit with Scourge Strike or Blood Strike, it will not just hit one target, it will hit all of the targets that are pretty much in front of you. It says nearby enemies, but from what I've seen, it does not really hit enemies that are low to your side. So it's more of like a frontal little cone. And then, of course, that there's Blood Boil. Blood Boil is you can use it to spread your disease, but the thing with Blood Boil is, since your Heart Strike, it spreads it for you if you're sending in Death and Decay. There's really not that much of a need for Blood Boil, but it is still sometimes in there. Let's say your Death and Decay might be on cooldown, you can definitely use this to get your diseases up on everything. And of course, there's Death Grip. Nothing's really changed except for the fact that instead of the target attacking you for 3 seconds, they've changed it to where you do 200% increased threat against the target for a certain amount of seconds. Alright, now guys, I'm gonna go through the rotations and the spells and everything as I play so you guys can kind of see the gameplay, see the downtime between. I know hopefully they're gonna push a build out pretty soon that will go ahead and fix the time that I have to sit here and just wait for a rune to activate. And then, of course, let me go over the little artifact weapon that we have here. Your artifact weapon basically gives you another Death Strike, except it's on a the first spell that you get out of here is called Consumption. It's on a 45-second cooldown. It heals you for decent amount of decent amount. So that is something that you can use when your own spell, like when you don't have enough running power for Death Strike. You can definitely use this to get yourself up. And the artifact weapon itself, at the moment, it does. Your harmful spells have a chance to deal about 5,500 blood damage and increase your health by 15% for 10 seconds. From what I've seen, this does not stack at the moment. So it's just like once it's up, it doesn't refresh at the moment either. At least it has not for me, from what I've seen. So just a little heads up. I know they're still working on it. There's still a lot of changes that are going to be coming through. So can't really be certain about some of the stuff that's going on right now. As you can see, like this is supposed to be a lake, but I'm a little scared to kind of step forward, and I just fell, and I'm gonna die. Assuming I actually stop falling. Ah, shit. Okay, I'm dead. That was a little bad on my part there. I actually didn't think I would fall through, but hello, found another bug for you guys. Uh, Huge ass bug. I'm actually surprised they actually have something like this in here right now. I don't want to get anywhere near that. Okay, as far as talents go, talents totally different. Nothing like the talents that we have at the moment, especially for blood. Everything is different. So, for talents, here we go. The first row is bloodworms. They're back. They're awesome. I really miss them, but they are not how they used to be. At least they're not spawning as much, and the amount of healing they do is pretty darn nice. But I decided to go with the second talent here in the first line. It is Heart Strike. It basically replaces your Blood Strike, and it hits your main enemy and two others. It does a little bit more damage. Your Blood Strike at the moment generates 5 runic power. Since I was actually starving on runic power also, I decided to go with this because it actually generates 10 runic power. And the third is Consume Vitality. It drains about 65,000 health from the target over 5 seconds. You can move, dodge, parry, and do everything else that you want while channeling this ability. It's on 30-second cooldown, 2 runes. The next is. I went with Ossuary. It basically, what it does is standing in Death and Decay also causes your Marrowrend to hit multiple targets. If it hits at least 2 targets, an additional Bone Shield charge has a chance to be generated. So basically, every single time you do, Marrowrend, it has a chance to give you 2. So while standing in Death and Decay and you use this, it might give you 3. There's a chance of it. I've seen it happen quite often. It's actually better than the other two. For the first one is Bloody Reprisal. Sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing some of these words. While active, anytime an enemy melee ability strikes a Death Knight, they will become infected with Blood Plague. If the enemy is already infected, Blood Plague will immediately deal its damage 3 times, 6 charges, last 15 seconds. It's on a 1.5 minute cooldown. I tried it, and then I just went back to the other one. The thing is, with all of the downtime I have and not enough runes and everything, I just decided to go with the passive one just because it gave me another extra bone shield, and that absorbs a lot more damage than this right here. So, and second talent was Blood Bolt. Costs 1 rune, does a little bit of damage, and then kind of spreads it around to the AoE, a little bit to all the enemies, and it puts Blood Plague on them. And of course, Blood Plague, it heals you every 3 seconds, and this replaces Death's Caress, which right now is your 1 rune, throw up your blood on a target spell. There is no outbreak or anything like that. At least I don't have any other spells, any other way to put a dot up. So this right here actually puts your 1 dot up that you have. 30-yard range. So next, I went with Rapid Decomposition in the third talent row. What this does is your Death and Decay does 25% more damage to targets that have Blood Plague, and you gain 50% healing from Blood Plague as you stand in the Death and Decay. That is actually really nice. The other two are nice. They're really, one's both of them are actually, all three are passives. But this right here, I really like this one just because of the amount of healing that Death Knights are doing right now is good. It's really nice and everything. But in some situations, depending on if I was going to be up against, like casters, anti magic shell, yeah, it works and everything, but it's just not the same as it used to be. This actually I found a little bit better just for solo farming AoE mobs. The second spell is Red Thirst. Vampiric Blood instantly energizes one rune and increases your runic power regeneration by 10% for its duration. That right there, I did try it. It is a little buggy at the moment. It does give you one rune. Sometimes it, increases the runic power regeneration. Sometimes it really hasn't. And the third spell was Anti-Magic Shell also increases your maximum health by 25% for 10 seconds. Next we got level 60, there's Rune Tap. It's on a 2-minute cooldown, however, and it restores 20% of your health. And you can recast it within 3 seconds without, triggering the full cooldown. I went with Purgatory just to be on the safe side because I was having a little issue in the beginning at first. And then there's also Mark of the Blood, 3-minute cooldown, places a mark of blood on the enemy. Whenever the enemy damages a target, the target will be healed for 4% of its health. And the game has decided to kick me off. It has been doing that today. It has already happened once or twice, so let's go back in. Hopefully it's still working and it has not ported me away to any other distant area. Because last time it happened, it actually took me to the Death Knight class hall, so I had to go all the way back out again. So hopefully didn't do anything like that this time. As I was gonna put in the notes for this video, I will be making videos of all the tank classes because I have tanked pretty much on all classes since vanilla. Even briefly tanked on a monk also, but then came back to my Death Knight again. So do expect to see videos of all classes, the tanking classes first. Then I'm going to go ahead and go through the DPS spec of every single class, all 3 specs, or 2 specs, or 1 spec, whatever it is. After that, I'm going to go to the healers. So if you guys have any suggestions other than watching the class videos or anything, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to make a video for you guys just to show you the changes and everything that are in. Ah, sweet, we actually came back to the same area. Okay, Mark of Blood, yeah. It heals a target for maximum of 4% of their health. And effect is doubled if the Death Knight is the target, lasts 20 seconds or up to 20 hits. Tightening Grip. It's a passive. It reduces the cooldown of your Gorefiend's Grasp by 60 seconds. Now the thing about Gorefiend's Grasp is it used to be a small little cooldown on live right now. Right now it is a 3-minute cooldown. So it is really situational. I'm actually a little surprised. I've been testing the Demon Hunter. Theirs is they have a Chain Grip also, which is on a, I would say like a 30-second. I can't remember the cooldown, and this is 3 minutes. I did make a little suggestion to it because the cooldown, if you ask me, is a little too long just for a AoE pull. So that's a little, too much right there. The second spell in here on 75 ton is each time your Death and Decay deals damage to an enemy, the enemy has a chance to cower in place for 3 seconds. PvP, I can see this being used. PvE, not so much. Not all mobs can be feared. Especially like, if you're going to be in like certain dungeons or raids and whatnot. But it's still, if you want that, then, more power to you. Next is March of the Damned. This is the one I took. It's basically a trinket on a 1.25 minute cooldown. Removes you all movement impairing effects, and if you lose control of your character, you can use this. And then next is Will of Necropolis. This is pretty much the same that it is on live. Next is Exhume. On a 1 minute cooldown, gain a charge of Bone Shield every second for 10 seconds. I tried this, but I really didn't need it. I mean, it is a good ability, especially like, if you're starving on rune, it's kind of hard to get your Marrowrend up, put your shields up. But this is really nice for heavy incoming damage. But as I was able to keep, Bone Shields up with Marrowrend, I really didn't see the need for it. So I went with the next one, which is each application of Bone Shield increases your maximum health by 3%. So up to 10 stacks, that's a pretty good health boost right there. So that's the one I went with. Next, we got Bone Storm, a whirl of bones that batters enemies for about 6 seconds, hits for about 3,700 shadow damage every second, and heals you for 1% of your maximum health per strike. With all the healing that I was already getting, I decided not to go with that, and I decided to go with Blood Beast. It's on a 5 minute cooldown. At the moment, instead of Blood Beast, for me, Shadow Fiends are coming out. So, they might be updating the model. Hopefully they are. I was expecting something really cool to happen. I mean, they heal for a lot. They do pretty good damage and everything. And, but the 5 minute cooldown's a little long, but, And the other is Blood Mirror, I'm sorry. Affecting on me with Blood Mirror for 10 seconds while active. 20% of any damage dealt to you is redirected to the target. This is a really nice spell, especially on certain boss fights. You can throw 20% of it back right at them. So I'm not even sure if this would work with like major abilities or if it would not. So it's kind of a little interesting to see how this, whole thing would work out. Okay, let's see here. I just picked up a quest. I wasn't even sure if it went through or not. It has been really buggy, really laggy for some odd reason. Even after you pick up a quest and whatnot, it still shows like you have not even done anything. So, alright. So you can, Death Grip, pull it out, or just use Death's Crest. Put your dot up. At the moment, as you can see, you'll see if you look on top of the mob right here, on top of his nameplate right here, in the letters, if you can see it, those are my runes that it's showing actually. And you can see the rune regeneration is quite slow. It is, there are times when I'm sitting here waiting for something, just so, I can do some damage to this guy. Surprisingly, last time I tried killing him, I got him pretty low, but as a blood DK, it takes time. This guy definitely takes time, simply because, amount of damage is low, then I don't have enough runes and everything. And that did not happen the last time. Wow, that makes it so much easier. Hello. You didn't tell me you were gonna come out of nowhere. Let me take all the hits and then steal the frickin' killing blow, you bastard. Anyways. Okay, so I just picked up another quest. I know it's up this way. I think it's in a cave up here. He wants me to kill someone else. Alright. But as you guys can see, it is a little slow right now. Okay, here we go. Here's the AoE pull. So you guys can kind of AoE pull. You actually end up doing decent damage. Single target, kind of like Cinder's like any freaking day now. Just die. So, and I'm not even trying to put my bone shield up at the moment. Just doing heart strikes at the moment, and then death strikes. I can do a bone shield, but it's just these guys. You just don't take enough damage to really kind of worry about it. But there are some mobs though. However, they might be the same level as me. They freaking hurt. I know when I did the Death Knight quest for my artifact weapon, it was actually quite painful. Just because I kind of just went in, I was a little surprised. I mean, I've been doing my research. I've been looking at other people's videos. I knew the spells were, taken out. Um, I just didn't expect it to be this different. So far, I kind of like it, but as you can see, it is. Hopefully, they do some changes to it really quick. In the couple of hours I've played as a Blood DK, the 2-3 different times, it has been quite slow. Let's see here. After this one, I'm thinking about showing everybody the DPS specs, but that'll be actually later. I'm actually going to work on. I can't make up my mind either warrior or paladin, but one of those. Expect to see it. It should be uploaded pretty soon. If you guys have any suggestions as to what class, what spec you guys want to see, please feel free to ask, and I will try and make a video of it. Show you all the spells and abilities that you end up with, the rotation, possible rotation that you can, I can use at the moment, and every other changes that I can think of. I will make sure I get a video out to you guys as soon as I can. So that right there, guys, has been a little intro to Blood Death Knights. I'll actually let you guys watch this kill right here, then we can stop after that. Just so you guys kind of have a little idea as to how Death Knights work now, how the tanking everything will work, the new spells and abilities that they have. And I'll also actually use my Blood Beast so you guys can actually see. Hey, they actually changed them from little Shadow Fiends to these guys. Interesting. Everything else kind of looks like the same. The spells, some of the spells are pretty much the same. But Blood Shield itself is a lot weaker than it used to be. At least it was yesterday. Today it's actually doing pretty good. Yesterday I couldn't even get it above 10,000. Right now I'm at 62,000 absorbing damage. So I know the restart that they did yesterday hopefully fixed up quite a few of the bugs that we had. Alright guys, that has been an intro to Blood Death Knight spells, rotations, and a few changes that you can expect in Legion. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like my videos, and thank you. Have a good day.